You can use the Trim and Extend tools to trim or extend one or more objects, such as a duct, pipe, or cable tray, to a boundary defined by another element. To illustrate these tools, I'll first start the pipe tool and then draw 3 parallel horizontal pipes, a vertical pipe to the right of these, and then one more pipe at an angle of about 60 degrees. The tools I want to use are located on the Modify ribbon in the Modify panel. Notice that Revit provides 3 related tools: Trim Extend to Corner, Trim Extend Single Element, and Trim Extend Multiple Elements. I'll use Trim Extend to Corner first. When I click the Trim Extend to Corner tool, the cursor changes to include a special icon so that I can see that the Trim Extend to Corner tool is active. In the status bar, I can see that Revit is prompting me to select the first line or wall to trim or extend, and Revit is also telling me to click on the part that I want to keep. I'll click to select the angled pipe. Then I'll move the cursor over the vertical pipe. As soon as I move the cursor over the pipe, I can see a preview alignment indicating how Revit will extend the pipes. When I click to select the vertical pipe, Revit immediately extends the 2 pipes until they meet at a corner, and places a fitting to try to make this connection work. Realize that the Trim Extend to Corner tool remains active. I'll click to select the upper horizontal pipe. Then I'll move the cursor over the vertical pipe. Again, I can see a preview alignment indicating where the pipes will meet. But remember that Revit told me to click on the part of the pipe that I want to keep. If I click on the vertical pipe above the preview indicator, Revit keeps that portion of the pipe. I'll undo that. Notice that the Trim Extend to Corner tool is still active. I'll repeat what I just did. I'll select the horizontal pipe and then move the cursor over the vertical pipe. But this time, I'll click on the vertical pipe below the alignment indicator. The Trim Extend to Corner tool only works with pairs of objects, and the objects will always be extended or trimmed to form a corner. If you want to trim or extend multiple objects, or want to form a T-intersection rather than corners, you will use one of the other Trim Extend tools. I'll click the Trim Extend Single Element tool. Again, the cursor changes to include a Trim Extend Single Element icon, and in the status bar, I can see that Revit is prompting me to select a reference as the Trim or Extend boundary. I'll select the vertical pipe. Then Revit prompts me to select a line or wall to trim or extend. When I move the cursor over the middle horizontal pipe, I can see a preview alignment. And when I click to select that pipe, it extends to form a T-intersection with the vertical pipe, and the appropriate fitting is placed. If you want to trim or extend more than one object to a selected boundary object, use the Trim Extend Multiple Elements tool. I'll click Trim Extend Multiple Elements. Once again, the cursor changes. Now it includes a Trim Extend Multiple Element icon. Again, Revit prompts me to select a reference as the Trim or Extend boundary. I'll click to select the angled pipe. Then Revit prompts me to select a line or wall to trim or extend. This time, I can click to select multiple objects. Each time I click on an object, it is extended to the boundary object. When I select the upper horizontal pipe, it is extended to the point at which it would meet the angled pipe if the angled pipe was longer.